on this, Bill Emmott joins me from Dublin. He's the chairman of Japan Society and fellow of Tokyo College at the University of Tokyo. So it's a pleasure having you in the program. Thank you for your time. Firstly, I'll just talk about the Unification Church's reported ties with the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. Are Japanese people justified in their staunch opposition to that?
Well, I think there are two aspects to these ties. The first is that churches of all kinds are incredibly efficient means of raising money. Churches throughout history have been brilliant at raising money because they have a lot of members who even maybe only give small amounts and they collect money. So therefore, politicians in a place like Japan definitely are always going to be soliciting support from religious groups of all kinds, including, but not limited to, the Unification Church. But secondly, Prime Minister Abe's grandfather, Prime Minister Kishi, began a long tendency of using this Unification Church and related organizations as part of the battle against communism. So very much for right-wing causes and against left-wing causes, often in universities and elsewhere, and that has continued to the present day. So I think that the Japanese public can be justified in feeling suspicious of that political aspect of the Unification Church, less so of the fact that they simply raise money, which is not unusual and not limited to the LDP, not limited to this church.
The Unification Church is facing several legal battles. Can you help us understand what's being called spiritual sales and what the connection is to these legal battles?
I'm not sure that I can, really. I mean, I think this church, as with some other quite cult-like organizations, have tended to raise sometimes substantial sums of money by pressuring families to make continual, often substantial donations in return for, if you like, spiritual cleansing or apparent spiritual cleansing. This is not a new practice. This has been going on for hundreds, even thousands of years in churches. But this church is accused of doing it especially aggressively, and there is a backlash against it and some legal cases against them. And of course, this was the grievance professed by the man who assassinated Prime Minister Abe in July. Let's face it, this church seems to be particularly successful in Japan. It's said that 70% of its worldwide income comes from Japan, and therefore the backing of the LDP may be with justice associated with its success in raising particularly large sums of money in Japan. So then, hence, this is motivating opponents to bring legal cases against them.
Okay. Bill Emmott, Japan Society, appreciate the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.